guys. Thanks for coming to our session on how top brands ensure affiliate revenue is incremental. We're going to take turns here. I'll start at the high level, and then I'll leave you with David and Wesley, who are much smarter folks at the specific level of some of the stuff that's going on. We're going to try to keep it to about 45 minutes to leave time for questions at the end. So they just asked that if you ask the question, either we repeat it or you use the mic. So we'll leave some time, and we'll sure there's some stuff that people will want to talk about. But we'll get started. Can everyone hear okay? So first of all, sorry, I should probably introduce myself. My name is Bob Glazer. I'm the founder of Acceleration Partners. We manage affiliate programs. We're a performance marketing firm that's focused on customer acquisition, new customer profitable acquisition for large brands and retailers. And we manage a lot of programs that are very focused on their brands, such as Adidas, Target, ModCloth, Shutterfly. And the word affiliate and brand is something that's not, affiliate program and brand are not talked about a lot together, but it's starting to happen more, and we think it's a topic that people need to pay a lot more attention to. So, guys, excuse me. Okay. Thanks. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what I might term Gen 1 versus Gen 2 affiliate programs. I think the first decade of Gen 1 is coming to an end, and we're into the what I term the Gen 2 generation, and programs are going to start to look a lot different. So if I had to pick a movie or poster to summarize Gen 1, I would pick the Animal House one. And going into some of the components of this. So how are programs managed in the first 10 or 15 years of affiliate programs? There's a lot of whoever was available in a house. Hey, would you like to take this over? Hey, we need some help in this. And it really went to people who had very little experience in affiliate marketing. The other angle of that was companies relied on the network who provided their tracking to also do their management, and sort of they didn't understand enough about it in-house, so they turned this all over the networks and said, you know, you do all this, and didn't ask a lot of questions. So metrics and payout, how did people define success of their affiliate program? Revenue. So every time I talk about affiliate revenue, I tend to put quotes around it, and we'll talk about why. Because people define it, hey, is the amount of affiliate revenue coming through that channel, that's the success. And the number of affiliates I have 15,000 affiliates in the program. This is great. And more volume equals more dollars and a greater percentage. So the more affiliates sent transactions, the higher that they were paid by the managers. Who were the affiliates? In most of the programs that we've seen and audited, you'd find that a lot of them, you know, up to 95% sometimes, are in the loyalty toolbar and coupon bucket. That's a lot of who made up the programs. Networks, how are people working with networks? They were working with multiple networks, often networks kind of offering the same value proposition and redundancy, and it's very common to see programs on 4 to 5 networks at a time. Transparency, little to none, no referring URL. Referring URL is a key thing for how we look at programs, making sure you have visibility to where the traffic is coming from and where the sales are coming from. For a while in affiliate marketing, people would accept that, you know, we don't know what this guy's doing, and that's okay because, you know, there's this veil of, well, if we knew what they were doing, we'd try to copy them. When you do business development deals, when you do partnerships, you know what your partners bring to the table and why you want to partner them. I think a lot of people hid behind this need for being non-transparent, and it wasn't a good thing. An analogy I like to use is there's not a company out there that would run a brand licensing program and not have specific terms and know how their brand was being licensed. I think a lot of people, if you think of your affiliate program as a brand licensing program, you'd want to ask a lot more questions about what your affiliate was doing. And the standard of transparency that's been accepted for how people know their brand is being used really just wouldn't be accepted in any other licensing business. So what was the result of all this? The result is what we like to say was an expensive retention program that was masquerading as a new customer acquisition channel. And I'll go into some more specifics on this, but I think that's what a lot of people ended up noticing, is that they were paying a lot to reacquire customers that they already had. So where are second generation affiliate programs going? Well, my summary here would be the revenge of the nerds. So people are coming into these programs from other areas of the business with not marketing backgrounds in finance. They're looking at data and they're going, what the hell is going on here? And they're asking a lot of questions, which I think are the right questions to be asked. So what a second generation affiliate program looks like. So there's experienced in-house managers, people who have been doing this for 5 years, who know how to run programs, who know what to look for, know what fraud looks like, or specialized third-party firms that are partnering with the in-house and removing some of the conflict of interest that the networks have. Metrics and payout. So in addition to curated, one of the 2013 words of the year you'll hear is incrementality. People want to know what is the affiliate program bringing above and beyond what they already had. How are they driving new customer acquisition? And they're starting to look at the conversion rate of affiliates and what seems appropriate and what doesn't. And they're paying for quality. So if you have affiliate A who's small but is doing really great on-brand stuff, you actually might pay them a higher percentage than someone who's doing high volume but isn't as valuable. People aren't equating volume with quality as much anymore. So who are the affiliates that people want to work with? I mean, if you talk to the networks and you talk to programs, they're saying, look, we want bloggers, we want people innovating, shopping site, platform tools, and more relevant and affiliate-focused content sites. I'd encourage every program to look at their top 10 and make sure you know your top 10 and what they're doing. And ask yourself, are these top 10 affiliates that I have in the same business as what I'm doing? If I have a lipstick company, are these guys talking about lipstick? Are they talking about fashion? Are they talking about makeup? Or do I not know what they're doing? And that's a conversation that's being had. So networks, I think people are realizing that there's certainly a case for working with different networks and niche networks and larger networks, but that running a quality program on fewer networks is better. And in a lot of cases, the size of the network doesn't correlate to the quality of the network. So people are making decisions about really what's right for their business. And if you've ever seen a program or 7 on 8 networks with different creatives, different banners, different newsletter formats, you'd realize there's a lot of administrative time there that could be better spent recruiting affiliates and working with the folks that you have. And then transparency. I think the new norm is, I don't think it's acceptable in 2013 not to know who your affiliates are and what they're doing. Wesley and David will forever cement this in your mind in about 15 or 20 minutes when you see what some affiliates are doing, the ones where you weren't sure what they're doing and it looked really easy. They'll show you some examples of what happens when you can't answer the question of what is this affiliate doing. So the result is actually smaller programs by this affiliate revenue metric, but they're programs that really are more focused on customer acquisition, and sometimes we're finding they're even housed within the business development group or under business development as people see this as a way to extend long-tail partnerships. So it's important, I said affiliate revenue in quotes before, but it's really important to understand how affiliate program economics work. So here's kind of the typical story you might hear. Acme Corp has $100 million in online revenue, and let's say they have an unhealthy affiliate program, and I'll explain what that is. The manager comes in and says we have a $15 million affiliate program, about 15% of revenue. So they pay 10% of commission to affiliates, and then they pay 3% of the revenue and fees to the network. So they're paying $1.95 million for this $100 million in revenue, which is 13% of revenue. Most people would look at this and say that's a good marketing cost of acquisition. Under some companies under 30%, 20%. It's hard to argue anything under 50% isn't good. So this is why everyone's saying, oh great, our affiliate channel is doing great. So what's really happening is that 75% of the people in these programs are non-incremental, meaning that they were in another channel beforehand, they were in the cart, you've already paid for them a different way. It's coming from coupon sites, people doing other low-value stuff, which again, these guys will give you some great examples of, and it's mostly targeting existing customers and people that knew the brand. So the problem is you now relook at this economics and you say that, okay, that 1.95 million is now being paid for what's really 3.75 million in incremental revenue. That's 52% of sales, not 13%. And I'd argue that most people, if you made this change, you could eliminate about $1.5 million in costs that you're paying out unnecessarily to people who are really not helping your brand and not supporting new customer acquisition. So one of the things a lot of people are asking themselves now is this a revenue generator or is it a cost center? Like I said, 80% of revenue in a lot of programs that aren't carefully managed will come from coupons or incentive or other sites that are doing low quality off-brand stuff. I think one of the key takeaways here is conversion rate. It's something we look at. And you'll find that if you go look at conversion rate of these affiliates, some of them are converting at 20%, which is, if you take an average e-commerce site and say it's 2%, that's 10 times higher than the normal site average. So you got to ask yourself, how is these guys converting at 20% and we're converting at 2%? And really that's achieved by targeting customers who are already committed to buying. And that gets to the incrementality issue of whether this is someone new or we're just getting credit. So remember, affiliate revenue doesn't imply that this revenue, and I'll show this in a second, is unique to the affiliate channel. It implies that the affiliate channel left a marker in that transaction and got credit for it. You could have 5, 10, 15 sources potentially in a transaction. So let's look at how this happened. So I've seen this happen a lot. You're at your company, you have someone manage each of your channels, you got an SEO guy, an affiliate guy, PPC person, email, retargeting, social media, all these things. 3 of these things may be in-house, 3 may be out-of-house. So everyone comes at the end of the month and they said, I did $1 million, I did $1 million, I did $1 million. It adds up to $6 million in revenue, and they go to the CMO or the head of acquisition. He says, that's great, guys, but we did $2 million in online revenue this month. So what's happening? These guys are all counting, they're all putting markers in these transactions, and they're all counting where they had a sale, but they're not paying any attention to where anyone else had a sale as well. So this is no different if you had a sales guys all calling on the same customers. They put a record in there, one closes it, and they all take commission. This is the sort of, you hear about last-in attribution, this is the all-in attribution model, and it doesn't work, and it makes everything look better than it really is. So what we want to do is look what your analytics can show you. This is a report that's out of Google Analytics that shows the concentric circles of the different channels. And you can see how much overlap there is between the different channels. And I'll show you this in a second, but people play a different role. You have engagers, you have people in the middle, you have closers. The industry typically valued the closers, which is problematic. But so if you circled here, this part in the upper right, this is the unencumbered affiliate activity. So this is the revenue. You see how big that affiliate circle was, but then you see all the overlap. This is the affiliate revenue for which no one else was in the transaction, and we could say this is truly the stuff that just the affiliates drove. And it tends to be a small part of the circle. So this is a problem in general with dual channels, but when the industry started valuing last in, a lot of affiliates tried to figure out how to be last in, so it's particularly problematic in affiliate. And the way you're last in is you target the brand, which again, Dave will show you some slides here, and you target people who are looking for the brand. You don't help bring people to the brand. So as I mentioned before this, affiliate revenue is a misrepresented metric because it doesn't describe what's solely from affiliates. It talks about where they're involved, and it doesn't exclude who else was involved. So this is a typical, might be a path. You had a guy do an organic search. He found the company originally, then he went back through a paid search through the name, the brand name, and then was about to buy, popped out, found a coupon that may or may not have been real, was told on that site he had to click, and now affiliates in this transaction as well, and you have 3 sources in this transaction. So I think healthy programs and people trying to think about this in the right way are trying to attribute the affiliate revenue appropriately, and unhealthy programs, I think, count all revenue touched by affiliates without regard to where they were before. And remember, a lot of these times, if it's paid click or organic, you're paying consultants to work on your organic search, you're paying for paid search, and then you're potentially paying an affiliate on top of that in the same transaction. So I want to visualize this concept for everyone because it's really important, and I think it depends on the type of company you are and what you sell, but really this concept of demand generation versus demand interception. So in scenario 1, you have a customer buying a commodity product. They're buying, let's call it a Black & Decker toaster, and it's the Model 1, and everyone sells this. So now, loyalty and coupon sites, I think they can add a lot of value in this. So if you are loyal to a certain site and you want to be a toaster and you go there and you say, who's got this Black & Decker Model 1 on the best sale? Or you go around and say, who's got the best offer for the Black & Decker Model 1? You'll get to a variety of shopping sites and coupon sites and loyalty sites. And you'll realize that, oh, well, in this case, either you promised or Coupon haven't had a great offer for the Black & Decker toaster at Target, so I'm going to go buy it there. Target's happy about this. They've probably gotten a customer. Again, they were helping you drive you to a brand and make a decision about a product. And a lot of the industry works like this, and the coupons are really important. So where our clients are, and where a lot of them are their own brand and unique and sell their own stuff and don't sell other people's products, they fall into the second bucket, which I would say someone like a Tiffany falls into. And this is really different, and this is where you see the interception come into play. So I wake up and I decide today's the day to get married, and I'm gonna buy an engagement ring from Tiffany because I know that's what my fiance wants. I'm done, I've decided. I go out there searching for it. So two things happen. In the first scenario, I go to look for Tiffany, and I may have some toolbars or spyware loaded on my computer that when I direct navigate to Tiffany's website, they intercept and set an affiliate cookie before I even get there, without me even knowing. It's something I could have downloaded a year ago. My kid could have downloaded the game. In this case, trying to get married before the kid, but that's irrelevant. So I end up at Tiffany, I buy it, and the affiliate credit goes to this first group, which probably really added nothing to the transaction. The second part happens where I go to Tiffany, I get the ring, I put it in my cart, and I say, you know what, I wonder if there's a better deal on this. And I pop out. And this is where you have a lot of sites that are, making up offers or saying you got to click here to see a coupon from Tiffany, and then they say, sorry, we have no coupons, and they've set the cookie. And there's people doing SEO and trademark bidding, which you'll see what that looks like in a minute. And their goal is to say, we know you want this Tiffany product, but you're kind of popping out of the cart and looking around, so we're going to make sure that you get back to Tiffany through us. And again, in both of these situations, I knew what I was buying, and it's kind of a matter of being distracted and other people taking advantage of that. So it's important to understand which bucket you're in and how that affects the type of partners you want to work with, and whether they're hijacking your brand or they're sending people to your brand. So you want to value the entire funnel. The concept of multi-channel attribution allows performance payouts based on the value of each channel. There's some networks that enable this now, where you can do commission splitting and really think about how you want it. If most of your commissions are going, people come up to us all the time and say, we want bloggers, we want content sites, we want all these people in our program. But their commission rules are going out to all the people who pay at the end. So what they're saying that they value and all the brand awareness and they're talking about and all this stuff, they actually aren't paying those people because they're kind of set up to fail in the program. And if you ask them to distribute this in terms of how it was valuable to them, they'd probably say, you know what, actually introducing, I'd give $50 out of the $100 revenue credit, and, keeping them engaged, which is where social media comes in a lot. I think it hasn't proven to be a closer or an initiator, but it's kind of an engager. And then, closing, I'd give, a quarter to that. But right now, closing usually gets 100%. So this is out now. There's some networks that support this. I know Link has capability, ShareSale has a capability to start to set the types of rules that you want for your affiliate program, and it's coming out more everywhere. But think about who you're saying you want and who you're paying commissions to, and making sure those are congruous. As I said before, overvaluing last in, I think, is expensive and misleading based on who everyone is telling me that they want in their affiliate program and what they want doing. So, the question I asked, I looked at this, how would this work for a baseball team? They only valued closers. They only valued the people who comes in the ninth inning. And if you had to use some analogies here, I'd say the content, bloggers, and shopping sites are sort of your starting pitchers, bullpen social media, and the people that close at the end tend to be email or CRM, coupon, and toolbar sites. Well, last year, the two highest paid players in the major league at the closer position were Jonathan Papelbon and Heath Bell. 11 million, 6 million each. And the Phillies came in third place and weren't the playoffs, and they were in last place, Heath Bell and his team. So part of the issue is, if you have a great closer, but you don't have enough pitching to get you to the ninth inning, you're not going to win games. So these were bad teams that couldn't even get to the closer, but they had overvalued the closer. And I think it's very analogous to how people are overvaluing the closer in their affiliate programs and are discouraging the people that can even get them there. The converse side of this is the two folks who were paid really in the bottom quartile, Tyler Clippard and Sergio Romo. They were paid 1.6 and 1.5 million, almost about a seventh amount. And if you looked at it, it really was their teams did better. They put them in a better position to win those games. And your goal is to win the game, not to have the star performer. So I think it's a relevant analogy to how people have set up their programs. So who's a value-added affiliate in my mind? I think it's this person who has the ability to affect a purchasing decision or vendor, not after the decision has been made. I want to buy a watch, and you're going to introduce me to the types of brands that sell watch. They can get you brand loyalty and a new audience. They have the traffic or the mind share that you're looking for. Again, how many of your top 10 in your program are doing what you do or talking about what you do? I would think that they'd have a very high new customer referral rate. So the smaller the brand, the higher this is going to be. If you're Amazon, it's less about creating new customers. It's more about ideas to buy new products, because we're probably 75% of this room is probably an Amazon customer. So again, you have to look at where you are on the spectrum. If you're a new brand and you're new in the market and you're $1 million or less in sales, your affiliate should be driving a lot of new customers. There shouldn't be a lot of existing customers to find your affiliates. 2-3% conversion rate. You want a normal conversion rate as your site. When your affiliates that are way below, it's symptomatic of maybe some cookie stuffing problems, and when they're way high, it's symptomatic of these were people that were already going to buy. And I think some of the best affiliates that are brand friendly promote at the product level. So they really get someone excited about a specific product and why they should buy it. There's only so much you can do in terms of saying, oh, this store, or go to this store. I mean, I think that's what people were doing 5 or 10 years ago. Now they're saying, hey, check out this item at this store that is on sale this week, and the best affiliates really take hold of certain products and like them and promote them. So quick example with Tiny Prints, which is a program that we manage how we implement some of this stuff. We use individual order-based attribution. We change the rules for commission payouts based on an individual transaction stream and what that looks like, and when the affiliate comes in early or comes in at the end. If a coupon affiliate comes in, it takes about 20 minutes to personalize a Tiny Prints product. If a coupon affiliate comes in the last minute or so of a transaction and there was a content affiliate in there, we will go back and give the content affiliate the credit, since we want to reward that behavior. We lower the commission for partners with high channel overlap and tend to send most of their clicks to already people in the cart. I mentioned the overwrite protection, and we increase the commission for affiliates who are doing what we want. I have no problem paying a small site a really high commission who's doing the type of stuff that we want. I think a lot of people don't pay them enough because they're small, which doesn't make any sense because this is a performance-based industry. And we have no toolbars in the program. It's a loyal brand. People go to it. We don't want cookies being set without the permission of the user. So what we get out of this is really high performance and loyalty from quality affiliates. The quality affiliates do well in this program. The people doing brand awareness on top of the funnel do well, and so they want to work with the program more. I hear time and time again that affiliates go into programs, they do all the stuff at the top of the funnel, they're kind of taken over at the end of the funnel, and they're like, I'm quitting this. This doesn't work for me. I'm doing what you're asking me to do, and other people are taking my commissions. So real quick, some best practices for finding high value affiliates that can help be brand relevant. Look at who likes you already. Look through your customers, partners, your analytics. I think there's a lot of blog posts and people who write about brands that they write about it once, but it's a great opportunity to reach out and develop a relationship with them. People who are affiliates with a brand feel an association with a brand, so don't be cheap and say, well, they sent me some free traffic, so why would I want to make them an affiliate? It's a very different relationship when you make them an affiliate. Who should like you? So there are tools out there to do research on people who rank for the content you have, for the type of users you're looking for, and reach out to them, and they should have the audience that you're looking for. And then the last part is reaching the affiliate community. So you're all here, that's step one. Doing announcements about the program to the community, going to conference, doing competitive research. There's a lot of programs now that will help you figure out which programs your competitors' affiliates are in, and that's a great way to reach out as well. And the last tip on that is really run your program like business development. Know who you're working with, invest in the relationships, and focus on the longer term gain and not the stuff that's easy and comes to you overnight. So I'll turn it over to Dave.
So I have the fun task of talking through some low value affiliate tactics. I think a lot of these things aren't necessarily no value. They're to some extent low value, and in some certain situations they can also be very high value. But it's important as you think through your program to understand where your affiliates are getting their visitors and how those visitors are getting to you as you try and evaluate the value that they bring to you. So we'll touch on a bunch of these, but we'll start off with Trademark SEO. So I think this is probably a very familiar example to most of the folks in this audience. Particularly the coupon sites are very, very good at taking any particular brand in their site and then getting themselves ranked for a search on an organic search based on the brand and the coupon. So the example that Bob talked through earlier, where you have somebody going to Tiffany.com, they see the coupon code box, they jump over to Google, they conduct a search, and then they see a set of results much like these results for Kohl's here, where there's just a list of providers, each with the Kohl's coupons. And we don't see Kohl's anywhere on this list. For whatever reason, they've chosen either they don't have a page where they're running their own coupons and posting them, or they're simply completely outmatched by their affiliates. Usually, when we talk to folks and they ask us about trademark SEO and how to manage some of the challenges around that, the first starting point is to ensure you have your own page, and ensure you're posting your own codes there as well. You ideally want your consumers. If they feel they need to go search for a coupon, you want to ensure that they can get the coupons through you as well. And to some extent, you want to be in here playing in this space. And once you click through from on this Retail Me Not link, for example, you end up on a page with a bunch of codes on it, and they're likely legitimate codes. They may be these are staff picks, so they've been insured to actually work and be active. That can create a very positive user experience. But at the same time, this isn't somebody who is probably new to your program or new to your company. Forced clicks. This is, I think, an area that is somewhat contentious in the industry, and I think we've seen the practice certainly grow meaningfully over time. But what a number of sites will do, and they usually have this ability to turn it on or off based upon the relationship with the merchant, and so it's certainly up to you, the advertiser, to evaluate whether and under what terms you want to work with these partners. But they won't display the code. And so when somebody lands on the site, they're expecting a coupon code, and so they'll click on the code. And in some circumstances, the codes aren't real, they're expired. There's not even an offer there. This second example down to up to 35% off on bundle promos. If you were to click through that click to redeem button, you get taken through basically just an affiliate link to the site, and there's no specific offer that this particular or discount or code or anything of value that the affiliate or that the user has been given by the affiliate. They've simply just dropped an affiliate cookie so that the sale gets closed with their link on it. Prohibited codes is something I think we see quite common. I think many of the good coupon sites, to some extent, they're competing for user eyeballs. So everyone wants to be the most comprehensive, to have the best deals, to have the best codes, the most exclusive codes. And they support that through their own research teams. They use third-party services, and they allow users to submit their codes. And so I think one of the examples that we see happen all too commonly is a firm will distribute a set of codes to their best customers. Maybe it's people who have bought before, maybe it's a reward for people who've signed up for the email list and have been members for a certain amount of time. We see the friends and family code as sort of, I think, the typical example of the type of thing that we'll see. And this gets emailed out to those best customers. The good coupon sites will ensure that they're also a recipient of those emails, or perhaps there's somebody else that posts the code, and suddenly you find your super duper awesome discount code for your best customers getting posted on coupon site and being used in every single transaction. And so it was originally meant to stimulate existing purchases without the affiliate commission, now costs you the additional code, or the additional the benefit as well as the affiliate code. Or in some instances, like this Marriott example, I usually go through as enter this, it lowers the price, it presents the price to the consumer, they can actually pay for it, but when they get to the hotel on check-in, they're asked for their membership card, or there's some specific piece of paper that you would need to bring with you, and then they're denied the discount. And so they have this terrible example, but you sort of incentivize the affiliate to help make this process happen. Trademark poachers, we see these a lot in organic search. You'll know when someone is targeting, this is a little bit similar to trademark SEO, but you know when somebody's targeting your brand when you see the brand itself or your trademark itself in the actual URL. So threadlesscoupons.net, threadlesscoupon.blogspot.org, there's does tend to be some organic benefit. It also sort of suggests a relationship, perhaps a more formal relationship with the business than you might intend, and it looks legitimate. I think a lot of it's not unreasonable to expect that a user ends up on one of these pages and thinks it's the official site and gets angry when the code that they posted there doesn't actually work, and then it becomes your support team's problem to deal with because they thought it was actually yours. Trademark plus bidders. So there's, I think, a lot of discussion around trademark plus bidding and paid search. There are plenty of pros and cons. It can be a good way to box out competitors if you have a lot of competitors bidding on your brand. At the same time, it also can be a great way to pay a lot more in paid search. And so in this case, we're looking at the search for Kohl's coupons. I think it's a full slot of 12 ads running against the search for Kohl's. That is certainly costing Kohl's, who's running their listing right at the top, a ton of money because they're competing with their own partners. So we see a number of brands manage this in a bunch of different ways. They'll give no bid rules. They just won't allow affiliates to bid on Trademark Plus. They'll work with trusted partners and try and set or limit their bid caps or how high they can display and reduce the competition. Or they just sort of let it go free for all. Inevitably, it's important to understand how a user ends up on a search for Kohl's coupons. They're probably not starting the process. They're probably not deciding what to purchase at that point. They're much later in the funnel, and if they happen to have already gone through the affiliate site that had a great review that led somebody to purchase at Kohl's, that gets overwritten by what someone clicking through here. Trademark hijackers. This is certainly an area that I think that we see a lot, and it's something that we're particularly familiar with. But in this particular example, you see the 4 stars or the 5 stars and the reviews, the number of +1s on the page. All of this looks like a legitimate ad in and of itself, but it's actually not from Blurb, it's from one of their affiliates. And affiliates have, particularly some of the more sophisticated providers, have grown very skilled over the years, and they can make the ads both look legitimate and then also mask who that they are. So when you click this ad, it goes through several different redirects, several different websites, none of which are particularly real or particularly meaningful, but along the way they're checking to see whether they should show you their affiliate link and drop the cookie. Chances are they'll detect that it's not actually a customer, it might actually be, they'll be able to detect that it's you or someone like you at your firm, and they won't show their affiliate link, so you won't know who it is. But inevitably, when this activity happens, they're bidding exclusively on brand terms and displacing your own ads. And so this, of course, can cost sort of a 5 to 10x your own paid search costs, what it would cost to run, and ends up destroying ROI. There's certainly a bunch of affiliates who work on an agency model. They operate as your paid search agency, and it can be a great mechanism to manage that relationship. But you want to know what you're getting yourself into when you agree that relationship, and ensure that the terms and the requests that you make are suitable for that particular interaction. Bob mentioned some of the loyalty and affinity sites and toolbars. There's a range of activities that that software products can run through. It can get as bad as every visit to your site or any site in their system triggers a cookie drop. Some of the programs are hard to install, some of them are hard to uninstall, some of them begin dropping cookies without consent. In this case, this is a uPromise toolbar. It sort of sits on the sort of more white hat side of the spectrum. They don't drop a cookie unless you interact with the toolbar itself, but it's still doing a handful of redirects in the background. So when you go to visit Home Depot's site, the screen rolls down, you get about 2 inches of real estate with a giant click this button, a little JavaScript flyover, which I think is going to trigger you to click the button. But it also sort of interrupts the experience. I mean, your design team is going to freak out when they sort of see what's being done to your site. And as a user, this experience isn't always as crisp as I think many people would like it to be. I would strongly encourage you to, if you work with software providers, to actually go through and download and install every single one and test it out. Go visit your site, see what it does to the site. Go visit Google search results, see how it modifies the search results. Go visit a competitor, see what it does on a competitor site. I was testing one of these at one point, and I had it installed, and I'd forgotten about it for a little bit, and went to, we run our accounting through QuickBooks Online, so I went to QuickBooks Online to go log in. And the first thing the toolbar did was redirect me to TurboTax, because they've detected the intuit.com domain in there, and like, oh, we must want to go to TurboTax. And I didn't want to go to TurboTax, and so I went back to QuickBooks Online and picked up the new domain and redirected me back. So I actually couldn't get into QuickBooks, so I could get into our company financials. I had to uninstall the thing before I could actually go about my normal business on the web. And I would argue that's not the behavior that I think anyone was hoping for from the toolbar. In social media, your affiliates may also go out and masquerade as you. So I don't fully understand why this page exists, but it's a Walmart page run and managed by an affiliate. I don't know whether they copied this logo and intentionally modified it or didn't notice, but it's not exactly the branding that Walmart wanted to see. And they're posting nice posts, like it's got some pretty, it looks like that might be, yeah, like they, sort of nice cookware. Everything's an affiliate link. I don't think anyone would, on careful inspection, be fooled to think that this is Walmart's official page. But at the same time, it's not really on brand. And so, as people stumble across this, like there's a bunch of people have liked it, their posts ended up on these people's timelines as Walmart coupons and deals. It's not unreasonable that people get confused about the origin of that and end up, patting into those dollars sort of at cost to the brand. Twitter accounts, I think, there's, you should go and certainly do a search and ensure that there aren't Twitter accounts that are registered using and involving your name. Twitter's great at picking out spam accounts. They've got a lot of good technology around that. But an interesting thing happens with the Twitter spam accounts. They are modified slightly, but they're not shut off entirely. So users, once they're, or sort of spam accounts, once they're marked as spam accounts, can still post to their followers. So they get a bunch of people to follow them through whatever reason. Whenever they put up a post, it still makes it through to the people who have agreed to follow them, although it won't appear in search results and the links will be deactivated, so you have to sort of copy and paste to get to them. So in the first one, in this case, it was classified as spam, but people still see it. And the second one is still an active account and sends visitors to the coupon website. So you have to be careful about ensuring that, we start thinking about namespace protection. I think Wesley talked through a bit about domain names, but your namespace protection extends into anywhere where somebody could believe that they're following you. So think of, like obviously Twitter and Facebook, but go use a service like Noam, and you'll quickly see they sort of look to register your brand across hundreds of different affiliate, hundreds of different social media accounts, and quickly see how widely and how broadly it's getting used. So fortunately, I think a lot of these examples aren't necessarily, I think we sort of got a little bit worse as we went along. They're not all completely no value, but there's a lot of sort of easy things you can do to help pick these things up. The most powerful thing you can absolutely do is spend time with your affiliates. Understand how they're promoting your program. And if you can't understand it, it's not you. I don't care if you're sort of new to the industry and doesn't make sense, it's probably them. These are your partners. They need to be able to communicate about how they get their users, how they promote to you. And you need to believe and understand why a user would go to their site and then take some action that gets them to your site. I think a lot of stuff comes out in the data itself. So whenever there's a giant spike in traffic, either it's a new affiliate or affiliate that's been dormant for a while, and then you see a surge of orders, spend some time to understand it. I think you'll hear things like, oh, our site was stumbled upon, or it was an email campaign. Ask to see the email. Ask to see the stumble upon. You can sort of see traffic. Like ask to really understand. Make sure you see the page that's getting referenced. Make sure you understand exactly what's going on and why it's happening. the referring URL can be a really valuable resource. If it's blank, be suspicious. Something is intentionally being hidden. It also can be misleading, so be careful with it. I think some of the best black hats we've seen launder their traffic. So they will send visitors to a site that it looks legit. It's a coupon site, or it's a blog, it's got a review on it. But all the traffic that comes through there is somebody coming from a paid search ad where it's masked, or one of the things that Wesley will point to, where it seems to come from somewhere, somewhere either someone's getting cookie stuffed or whatnot. So take those with a grain of salt, but at the same time, use the information you can to at least see if you can come up with a plausible story for how they're getting there. The first refer and last refer, I think, can also be very interesting. So if you look at a given session, how did the user get to your site first? And then how did they get there last? And what was the thing that was where they came from immediately before the cookie was dropped? That can sort of yield some interesting insights that either may help you cast suspicions on the story you're being told by the affiliate about where this wondrous traffic and these miracle sales are coming from, or it can reveal that there's actually a giant gap. And beware of things that come through proxies or thin sites. Go look up their Alexa. Look for if there's no traffic. Like how do they get there? Doesn't quite make sense. Try and validate how they're actually getting it. So with that being said, so here's a handful. As you begin to look at websites, there's a handful of sites where you sort of develop this skill for identifying things that are just sketchy. So I'm sure some of you have seen many sites like this. I can't imagine why anybody goes to some of these banner farms and there's a LifeLock ad right next to an East Bay fan gear right across from a Bose thing. That doesn't happen on normal sites, and users aren't attracted to that content. So just begin to get familiar with the things that are there effectively to scam you. And I'll turn it over to Wesley. Thanks.
Hello. I've got 5 minutes to quickly run you through some of the more prevalent types of affiliate fraud that I come across. Make no mistake about it, this is all affiliate fraud. Some people will argue that the legality is questionable, and sometimes it is, maybe, but the guys that have been challenged, a lot of times they end up going to jail. So 2 of eBay's top affiliates, fraudsters, that were top affiliates, are now going to jail. I think they stole $15 million. So Robofelids, so essentially what they're trying to do is force themselves into potential transactions between a buyer and a merchant. Sometimes it's earlier on before a sale is made, but a lot of times it's right at the end of the road, just before a sale is made or not made. So if the buyer happens to make a purchase within a certain period of time, the rogue affiliate is paid an unearned commission, and that's what this is all about. It's unearned. What they're doing is resulting in an unearned fee. So so who loses in this? Merchants lose all the time because they're paying unearned commissions. Honest affiliates always lose because they're essentially competing with the rogue affiliate, the dishonest guy. And when the rogue affiliate is doing what he's doing, he's basically stealing from other affiliates. So as much as iPensatori, I work with Ben Edelman, and as much as we protect merchants, sometimes we're approached by affiliates as well that say, hey man, my revenue's gone, what's going on here? My revenue's gone to naught. Can you have a look for us? And sometimes we find a very dodgy affiliate in the background. Buyers don't know it, but they lose too, because essentially, if it's run at a large enough scale, these are savings that could be passed on from the merchant to the buyer. Okay, so the 3 types of techniques we're going to quickly look at today. If you've never seen this before, just go to get on the web, look for cookie stuffing, adware type squatting, find a lot of information about it. I cover a sample every week or so of something I've seen in the wild, and essentially cookie stuffing so they force an affiliate click, the rogue affiliate forces an affiliate click, and basically loads affiliate cookies onto the user's machine in an effort to get paid if the user then buys something. So a trend on the rise is defrauding merchants through advertising networks. So they're buying ads which then drop these affiliate cookies on users' machines. As an honest affiliate, try to compete against that. I'll tell you how you compete against it. You can't. There's no way on earth you can compete against the guy who's using Google's advertising network to push his affiliate cookies. Okay, you can't do it. You can try, but then you're probably going to call yourself Google, right? It's not going to happen. Yeah, so there's a flaw in Google Ads that allows for this to happen. I don't know if you can call it a flaw, but essentially you have, it's in the magazine, the Affiliate Summit magazine. I think it's like the third or fourth article. I'll go into a little bit more detail what's going on there. There's a very large affiliate, a very large adult advertising network that has the same problem. So cookie stuffing is one side of it. Another side is adware, where affiliates will use something called PPV, CPV, whatever it is. They'll use adware to force their cookies onto the user's machine. It's really cheap. It's really easy too. You can get really good deals on PPV. Sometimes, yeah, way cheaper than what like legitimate advertising networks sell their clicks for. So if someone's selling a click for 0.001 cents, you might want to ask them how they're doing that. And then of course typo squatting. This is where they affiliates launder typo squatting traffic before redirecting through a click, an affiliate click link and then onto a merchant. Technique that's seldom mentioned is where robo-affiliates band together and attack super affiliates. It's not something you see very often, but it's something I've encountered from time to time. And that's, I mean, this is all discoverable. I can discover who is most likely a very popular affiliate, and then I can attack that affiliate. So I can either compromise his site and then redirect his traffic to me. Not all his traffic, redirect a sample of his traffic, because you don't want to get found out. Or I can compromise his machine, and I can steal his lists, and I can sell his lists. Okay, if you've ever, as a merchant, if you've ever been burnt by affiliate fraud, when was the last time that you shared intricate details with people outside of your company of a fraudster that burnt you? Probably not very often, right? But fraudsters do this all the time. So this is a quick post from quite a popular underground site amongst the scammers. Hey guys, so I made a good amount of money on commission junction accounts from stuffing last month, cookie stuffing, and they inquired about my promotional methods and how I was driving traffic. Oh no! I explained that I send PPC traffic and send newsletters to my double opt-in list. They asked for header information for the newsletters that I send out, but I told them there was no way for me to see as I'm not on my own list. In other words, they were saying, where's your referrer information? Right? And he's like, I can't give them referrer information. Long story short, I thought they had bought the story, but I got yet another inquiry on my promotional methods today, asking for me to, quote, please provide us with a copy of the email as would appear in a user's inbox, including the email header information. So commission injunctions, trying to like figure out something, something dodgy is going on here. I can write the fake email, no problem, but my question is, will they be able to tell how many people are on this non-existent newsletter and other information of that sort from the email header? They then go on to coach him on how to respond. Okay, I've been through this problem. Who are you dealing with there? All right. I'll show you how to get past this. And then, hey, thanks for all the replies and tips, guys. I've given the email header information, a screenshot of the back end with edited subscriber stats, bounce rates, etc. Offered to show the PPC invoices and gave them a copy of the next newsletter, which also links to a PDF that I will be sending out. He got this from the forum. They gave him like all the screenshots that he needs. Right? I'll keep you guys updated on what happens next. On a side note, this is why I do like Commission Junction. In my experiences, most other networks or affiliate programs will just ban me without any notice. CJ at least gives me the chance to prove my innocence. Okay. In this example 1, what we have is adware sitting on a user's machine. In the background, user visited Amazon.com, right? And what happened is actually quite interesting. What happened was that the adware connects to a PPV backend, and they do a real-time auction, and they sold this user, okay? They sold his visit to Amazon.com. Who is the highest bidder for someone going to Amazon.com? Specifically, I think it was the shopping cart. I'm looking at the shopping cart on Amazon.com. Who's the highest bidder for this traffic? Twizio.info comes along and says, I'll buy this traffic, okay? Twizio then loads up their little graphic on the front, trying to collect your email address, because scammers will always say, look, if you're going to scam, you might as well scam on a number of levels, so collect the email address as well. What this guy does in the back end is does cookie stuffing. He drops an affiliate click link to, guesses, Amazon.com, right? So by visiting Amazon.com, This guy, Twizy.info, is dropping an Amazon cookie, okay, back to Amazon.com. So if I then make a purchase from Amazon.com, Amazon may pay the affiliates a commission. Now I say may because sure, Amazon.com has got a click fraud solution on their side, which is great. But then why is this guy paying for the traffic, right? He's paying for the traffic because it's probable that he's going to make a profit. Example 2, the best one. cheapoair.com, visit cheapoair.com. You don't need an infected machine. You just, any regular machine, visit cheapoair.com. The ad on the right-hand side is a Google ad, which will drop an affiliate cookie onto the user's machine. So just by visiting cheapoair.com, without any software on the machine, will result in the affiliate behind this ad being paid an unearned commission. Again, you cannot compete with this. If you're an affiliate who is affiliated with a merchant that's suffering from these kinds of problems, you can't compete with it. Good luck. Yeah, if you're a merchant, your affiliate program is in an arms race against unscrupulous, sophisticated, and highly motivated individuals. Yeah, if you don't know where you stand, you can just go to query.pensatori.com. I exposed a lot of my logs in there, so you can see how many scams have hit your merchant, may have hit your site. Thank you.
So we'll open up to questions. Just after seeing all this fancy stuff, I just want to reiterate something I think that we all said, which is that human questions and basic common sense can get you to a lot of the same answers as this, and so ask the questions and don't accept vague answers. And there are people that can help you with this stuff professionally, but a lot of it's just about paying attention in the first place.
So all our sites use Google Analytics for their analytics package, and I found it difficult to take a transaction and then view, okay, what were all the referral sources before they purchased? Are there any tools that you guys recommend to better view a customer's journey, like a specific customer's journey?
There's the new Universal Analytics, I think, does some of this with a funnel, but there's a tool called Convertro that a lot of people like that's lower cost, that will show you click path among cohorts and types of users, and it's really good for spotting that kind of stuff.
Okay, thanks.
Convertro. You guys, if you work at a bigger company, you may have Omniture, Core Metrics, but these are really expensive things that have to get installed, and they will do this, but they usually are not cost effective for a smaller company. Any other questions? In the back? Let me just repeat the question for that. This is, should be affiliates be held to the same CPA level as looking at branded and non-branded PPC? Was that branded PPC? As branded PPC. Yep. David, you want to take that?
Very good question. I think it's the different examples we walked through show a wide range of sort of demand capture, and there's certainly going to be some generation built in there as well. And I think you would find that there's very different sort of, I guess, right CPA levels for, you know, coupon sites versus software providers and toolbars versus paid search providers and so on. It's certainly worthwhile looking closely, like, you know, look very, very carefully at, categorize your affiliates. You'll have some categories, figure out if you can track those back through to, you know, their incremental contribution, and then value that incremental contribution in addition to the sort of recurring contribution. I think it's a little bit hard brand itself, branded paid search itself, typically has a very, very low CPA. And I think you'd find that your affiliates that are generating the demand would basically turn off probably at that. And I think there's likely to be a lot of value, even though it probably seems small at this point. I think a lot of folks will tell you as they begin to sort of structure their program and work with their affiliates and set their levels correctly, they begin to showcase more of the actual generation value that happens much higher in the funnel at a lot of the content sites.
Question.
In your experience, have you seen CSCs like comparison shopping engines be a value affiliate? Do you consider a value?
So the question, and just again repeating this for tape, sorry, was whether comparison shopping engines are a valuable affiliate. I think sure. In general, a lot of them are not a lot of them are affiliates anymore. I think they've a lot of them have moved to click-based pricing. So in my mind, if anyone sent, that to me is more demand generation. But I think the bulk are just not in affiliate programs anymore. But do you guys have any?
So so yes, they can be very valuable. I think a lot of the ones where users originate there, they can be fantastic for directing users. We see them a lot in branded search, and it's not even just them. It'll be their own affiliates. So you can sign up for a price grabber to be a price grabber affiliate, and it gives you access to their feed and effectively build a skinned version of price grabber. And we see those folks running a lot of branded search and competing with the brand's own ads. So I think in particular with the CSEs, I would strongly encourage, and again, most relationships tend to be outside the affiliate channel these days, I think. I would strongly encourage sort of you to be clear around their respective rights with your trademark.
In the back?
You mentioned the Marriott instance of the promotional codes being posted that are meant for friends and family. So there's different things that our company's been doing to kind of combat that, trying to really tie email addresses to promo codes and things like that. In terms of other offers or other methods for trying to police that, if you put a new customer offer out in a certain area, do you have any thoughts as to how to better control that, police that? We seem to have some resistance in getting promo codes removed back off of coupon sites. Didn't know if there was any other means for better policing of it or better control.
So the question, and then this is the last one with time, but we'd be happy to step aside and answer other questions. So the question was about controlling coupon codes and going into other channels. There's a couple things. Some of the networks, I know Impact Radius has this technology, but people are starting to make it so that if a code that was not used by the right affiliate, they wouldn't get credit. So there's some technology that's helping to solve that. David's tool, BrandVerity, actually will monitor coupon compliance about people posting stuff that they shouldn't post, which is really helpful because it's a real pain to track down. And I think the other thing is, practically you can offer sites that are problematic a good deal, like to not say, look, this will be the exclusive one you promote, but we're going to make it higher value and we're going to make it dollar-based, and please don't post anything else. But part of having the terms and conditions is enforcing it, and if you never enforce it, people will keep pushing it. I think with our coupon partners, they know that we're dead serious about posting non-affiliate codes, and we'll void all their commissions, and it's just not worth doing.
I think we increasingly hear a lot of pushback around sort of initial pushback that tends to fade. I think a number of particularly if you're a smaller merchant, it's not uncommon for your first request to have a code taken down to be answered with well, give us new fresh content, so it'll just push it down. But at the same time, we've seen plenty of success, and like these guys are your partners, they want to work with you. They just would prefer not to have to do that. But over time, they tend to, I think once they recognize that like it actually matters to you, they'll pull them out. They're typically very responsive.
Great, so that's time. Again, if we're kicked out, we'll happy to hang out and answer any other questions you have. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.